Well, greetings, everybody. That sparkly jacket can only mean one thing. It's time to have a little game show action here, Paul. I see Amy Dallin in the background just cracking up. Guys, welcome to what I think is going to be one of the funniest and funnest panels we've done at Mainframe so far, guys. It's time for the Tom Brevoort Game Show Spectacular. Stump Tom Brevoort. We called it like 19 different things. Win Tom Brevoort's money. We try to think of fun. We're just going to call it the game show, guys. So over the next hour, we got some amazing competitors competing for fictional cash and prizes to see who knows the most about Marvel trivia. And the one guy that they're trying to stump that knows quite a bit about Marvel comics is, I believe, the executive editor over at Marvel, Mr. Tom Brevoort. Let's bring him on. How's it going, my man?
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me? Is everything working?
I can hear you. You look
All
good.
right.
You sound good. I hate to, overshine you, but I had to wear my gold jacket because this is a game show format.
That is appropriate. That is fine. It's not that difficult to outshine me.
All I'm missing is the little Bob Barker skinny microphone. I tried to find one, but I couldn't find one. So, guys, let's go ahead and get to know our competitors. First up, one of the nicest, sweetest, bubbliest, kindest people I know. You know her from Collider Heroes and, of course, her own channel on YouTube. She just crushed it over in Hall B with Terry Moore. Give it up for Ms. Amy Dallin. Amy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I am very excited to lose very badly in this competition. But my excuse will be that I'm still in a puddle on the floor because I just got to talk to Terry Moore for an hour.
You crushed the Terry Moore interview.
Delightful.
I didn't want it to end. It could have gone for 4 hours. I think people would have just been glued to it. Also joining us here, you know him from, he is the hardest working man on YouTube. He works over at the Comic Core. If you guys haven't seen the Comic Core over on YouTube, check him out. This guy's on like 7 days a week. Give it up for Mr. Carson Woodard. Carson, are you bringing your A game, man?
Oh, man. Big thanks for having me, Chuck. I hope I don't embarrass myself too bad. I got producer Chad like right there staring at it's staring through me. He's like, you better get all the questions right. So,
dude,
love the jacket, by the way.
I'm doing all the embarrassing for all of us. Don't worry about it. We haven't even gotten to our next competitor. I'm not sure if this is the Masked Singer or what, but we got to bring Mr. Antonio Medina dressed in the nines. We got a cool Masked Singer thing going on here at
not at all intimidated.
You have a voice changer, or is that just the way your voice sounds, Tony?
I will defeat all.
Awesome. Oh, this is going smashing, I gotta say. I'm really happy. So Tom, we have a very special mystery competitor that I don't think you were aware. You probably know this next person, Tom. The word underling is used far too often. Guys, you know him. He's the guy making the amazing new Iron Man book. He's also the creator of the show Halt and Catch Fire. Give it up for Mr. Chris Cantwell. Chris is here.
Yeah! Let's do it.
All we're missing is the really good music. We need some good music going on in the background, but we don't want YouTube to pull us. So, Chad, don't put any music up. So, guys, we have a whole hour to have a whole lot of fun. I'm so glad you guys all chimed in. Tony, are you going to be rocking the mask the whole time? Because that's totally cool if you want
an hour of that. Yes.
Did you make that all by yourself? That's freaking cool. Is that duct tape and cardboard?
It sure is.
Did you draw the patterns? It's so cool.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Well, guys, so this is how this is going to work. We got 3 rounds of awesome. We're going to try to get through all 3 rounds as best we can. First round, we thought it might be kind of fun to kind of do. Oh, by the way, Shauna over here is going to be our scorekeeper. That's her hand. She's going to be keeping everybody's score. So round 1, we're going to kind of do it Hollywood Squares style. So if you remember the show Hollywood Squares, where you ask a question to somebody and they give an answer, and then you have to decide whether or not that answer is correct, and then, circle gets the square. So I'm going to ask Tom some questions. He's going to give an answer. And then does everybody have their notepad and their marker? You'll write your answer on a notepad and hold it up to the screen. For this round, all you'll put is T or F, so true or false. Is everybody clear on how this round is going to run?
I'm the only square. There's only one square, and it's me. So you're either going to 0 me or you're going to X me. However it works, whatever you prefer, one way or the other.
So all of these questions Carson and everybody else, pertain to the What If series of Marvel comic books. Has everybody read the What Ifs? Cantwell clearly has read them.
Some. I'm here.
Some.
Yeah.
We figured these might be kind of difficult for people.
This
so that's
is
kind of why we
this
picked
is
it.
this is real what if. This is 70s what if, not latter day 90s what if.
I'm just going to sign off.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and kick off round number 1. Is everybody ready? So, Tom,
Yes,
may I call you Tom?
you may.
Which character acts as the narrator for all of What If Volume 1?
All of What If number 1 was narrated by Uatu, better known as the Watcher. Big bald guy on the moon, wearing a toga. Don't look up during the full moon. It's a sad sight.
Well, guys, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So go ahead and write, I'd say true or false, T or F, on your little notepad. Does that sound good, Shauna? We're kind of making this up as we go along. We have not had a dress rehearsal for this at all. So has everybody written down their answer? Carson,
Yes.
What do you think? True, false?
I'm going T for true.
Carson says true. That is actually correct.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer.
Oh, hold on.
No rewrites. I know it's easy to change an F to a T. Cantwell also says T. True. True. Tony says true. Everybody gets a point.
All right,
You guys are starting strong.
First before we tell the answer.
this is good. We want to make this a race.
Exactly. Tom, question number 2.
Number 2.
Issue 42 of What If came out in August of 1980. What if the Invisible Girl had died? How did Sue die?
She died in childbirth. She died giving birth to Franklin.
Shauna's
Very
not so
sad.
sure about that one.
It was very sad.
Cantwell already has his up. So does Carson. And Tony. So we got a bunch of F's and Tony wrote a T. Tony gets a point. It was correct. I know we're getting dark. We're getting dark right at the beginning of the game
It
show.
was hilarious. She was died in childbirth with the baby, with the girl.
Are you asking Tom Brevoort if he knows
Tom?
the correct
in
answers?
that what if, because it was a what if, it was Franklin.
Damn. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, before you guys blow up the
Trying
chat,
too
like, some of
hard.
my questions might be wrong and some of them might be right. This is just for fun.
Yeah, you can, Chris, pitch a story where you change that fact. So that's an option that you do have.
Okay.
All right. Question number 3. In issue 43 in 1980's What If Conan the Barbarian was stranded in the 20th century? What does Conan steal from the pawn shop?
Well, it was the 70s, so he steals a Saturday night special. He steals a handgun, a gun.
He steals a 1970s style Saturday night special.
He is going
Revolver.
full Dirty Harry, but not with the big one. Not with the big weapon.
Everybody's writing down. All right, everybody. So Carson says false. Cantwell says true. Tony says false. Amy says false. That is false. He stole a knife.
Everybody but Cantwell.
So everybody got it right except for
I
Chris.
lied.
Everybody got it right except for
I'm
the
gonna
guy who's
write
currently
story,
writing
though,
Marvel
that's my
comic
next
books.
pitch. Conan with a Saturday night special. Saturday night Conan.
Saturday Night Conan would be great. That would be awesome. That's
Tony.
what I wanted.
Tony,
Right,
you are
wrong.
winning. Cantwell, it's time to halt and catch up because you are in last place.
Had that one preloaded. Did you check?
Oh, it was in the gun. It was ready to go.
All right.
I just didn't think he'd be losing this early in the game.
I did.
Question number 5. In issue 37 from 1980, what if Beast and the Thing continued to mutate? What happened when the radiation building up in Ben Grimm was released?
Through the story, he's building up all this radiation in him, and he explodes. Like the rocks go flying off of him, and he literally explodes from the inside.
That sounds very believable.
He blows up.
He blows up. That sounds like really, really. Amy, you don't seem so sure about your answer. Amy
These
says
are issues of what if, and they weren't great
Amy
comics.
says true.
So
Carson says
anything
true.
is possible.
Chris says true. False. Tony, you're killing it, man. What happened was Alicia is able to see again.
Oh, that's
The radiation explodes.
That is
and
better.
then- isn't that nicer? Then he just dies.
he just died.
But it was it would have been spectacular.
It would have been spectacular.
Rocks
You're
would have
right.
flown everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more of these in round 1. Tony is absolutely crushing it. It must be the helmet.
It must be.
In
He's got a little digital readout in there.
Yeah, you got the internet going on in that helmet. What's going on?
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Issue 45, November 1980. What if the Hulk went berserk? Who eventually killed the Hulk?
Thor. Thor kills the Hulk.
Wow, he's pretty quick. He's pretty quick. Amy's not sure if she can trust you anymore.
That is a wise and well considered point of view.
We have
Uh-oh.
everybody at the bottom says true. Carson says false. It is true, Carson.
Oh,
Thor
You
killed
tell
the
him
Hulk.
Red, what if?
So everybody gets a point, but Carson. So final question in round 1. Tom, are you ready?
I am ready.
In issue 27, what if Phoenix had not died? A lot of dying going on in Marvel back in
Yes.
the 70s.
Yes.
How was the Phoenix contained without resorting to Jean Grey's death? That makes sense?
Yeah. The Phoenix, it wasn't contained. By the end of that story, it like goes berserk and it engulfs the Earth and wipes everything out and is theoretically going to expand and wipe out the rest of the universe. Because it's very sad that Cyclops is dead.
So you think it's a trick question? Okay.
I do think it's a trick question.
She was not contained, or it was not contained at all?
It was not at all contained.
Everybody's feverishly writing here on this final question of round 1.
Oh, God.
Chris has it true right away.
Chris made an I for some reason,
He even underlined it.
I have no
as in
idea.
I don't know. What do we got? We got true, false, and true. Tony, circle gets the square. Everybody else gets no squares or no circles. It was a lobotomy. Was carried out to remove Jean's
That's a great
powers.
story. Oh my god. I'm bringing all these back
Jean got a lobotomy, and that's how they, I guess, contained.
and
The
teamed
Phoenix.
up with Conan, who had a Saturday Night Circle.
All right, guys. Moving into round 2, we've got Amy Talon with a score of 3. Carson with a score of 2.
Woo.
Chris with a score of 2. And Tony with a score of 6.
Wow.
Tony's running away with it.
This is real.
It's gonna be Robot Face in the final round.
All right, guys. This next round, questions are worth 1 point.
A whole point.
Tom's
You're
going to
nothing
act.
but not generous.
Tom's going to act as Alex Trebek in this round, and he's going to ask you a series of 5 questions. So same question to everybody.
I
This
will.
is a answer the question
Oh,
type of round.
Yep.
So,
These
Tom-
have actual answers. I've already disqualified one of the questions.
Yeah, I screwed up.
It's
Tom
alright.
called me out immediately and said, "Chuck, there's like 9 different answers for this question." It's like, oh, okay, we'll change it.
All right. So question number 1: which of the elders of the universe cut a deal with a death to make the various elders immune to, well, death and aging and disease and heartbreak? Who among the elders made them immortal and eternal and elderly?
Which elder
Which
of the
elder?
universe made a pact with death, making all the elders unaffected by aging, disease, and toxins?
It wasn't the runner. I'll give you that one. It was not the runner. That was not really in his wheelhouse.
Couple seconds. Carson, we're going to start with you up there.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
I don't know much about Eternals either. I went Living Tribunal. I have no idea.
wow.
Tom, is that correct?
That is not correct. That is wrong. He is in
Chris?
fact not even an eternal. So
I know.
an elder.
Of course, we're in the same boat.
Chris
man.
also went with the
Oh,
living
cool. I
tribunal.
don't feel as...
But I
Maybe
wasn't sure. I was like, maybe?
Maybe it should have been the living tribunal.
See, Carson, don't feel so
Consensus
bad. Man.
reality.
If Chris Cantwell can't get it, Antonio Medina
Wow.
doesn't have a clue.
I love it using his daughter's
Amy?
language to-
Bring us home,
Come on.
Yeah.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster is in fact Correct.
Amy got it right.
Not a
Yes.
lucky guess at all.
No, of course not.
Amy gets
nailed
the
it.
point. Question number 2.
Question number 2 to everybody. In Fantastic Four 167, back in the 70s, the Thing lost his powers in a story that makes no sense whatsoever. It was the 70s. But because the Fantastic Four were legally required to have 4 superpowered members, they brought in a replacement for the Thing. Who was that replacement? Who took the Thing's place on the FF because
Hey,
he had
Tom.
lost his powers?
Sorry, I just want to see if maybe you can like jiggle where your headphones plug
They
in.
don't. It's a wireless signal. I don't have a.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
Uh,
So who replaced the Thing in the Fantastic Four in 1970s? Everybody's written down? Okay, we'll go backwards this time. Amy? What's it say? She-Hulk.
I don't know if I have the right decade.
no,
Tom.
it was not. It was not She-Hulk. I'm afraid.
Tony. And what's it say? Spider-Man? And Spider-Man.
It was not Spider-Man. Sadly.
Carson?
Who was it?
Well, Carson.
No, Carson
else?
put
I guess
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, but I'm wrong.
Yeah, everybody's. Nobody's getting a point there. It was Luke Cage, Power Man, Hero for Hire.
Luke Cage.
They paid him $3.35 an hour, and he came running.
It was great in the 70s, man.
That was
Good
very
money.
great.
All right, question
That's
number
great.
3. So far, Amy's the only one with a point this round.
This will potentially be a very sad question. Patsy Walker has proven to be terrible at relationships over the years. Her first husband was Buzz Baxter, who became the supervillain Mad Dog. Who was her second husband? Who was the second person that Hellcat married, that Patsy Walker married? Who was also awful, but not in a dog fashion.
I feel like I'm falling right into a trap with this one, and I'm going to embarrass myself. I hope that the streaming numbers aren't super high right now, but I have to go with my gut. I feel like I'm missing something. But
Go with your gut, Chris. What do you got? Damian Hellstorm.
Damon Hellstrom is correct.
yeah,
The son of Satan.
Carson, rip it off, man.
I had the word hell in my brain, but I actually wrote down Hellion, so I'm wrong.
the
Tony?
entire Hellions team.
Oh, we got Amy got it right.
Nice.
Tony said Wilson Fisk. Good job.
The Patsy
I'm
Walker
happy to
fans
get
have
that
logged
one.
on.
Yes.
Amy
I was
and
ready for
Chris.
Buzz. I was gonna blow everybody's mind by saying something about Buzz.
All right, guys.
So
2 more
Buzz-
questions in round number 2. There's only 19 rounds.
All right, here we go. Cable was revealed to be the son of Cyclops from the future, because that's not confusing. Who was his mother? Who was Cable's mother?
I see some feverish writing going on. And be
Rob
specific.
It was not Rob Liefeld.
Oh wait, you tell us when we're going.
Maybe might have been his dad, not his mother.
All right, Carson, this is you, man. Hold on. Tony's still writing, or is he sketching?
Full drawing? And if it's wrong, that would be really funny.
All right, Carson, what do you got,
Is
man?
it Madeline Pryor?
It is Madeline Pryor.
Yay! I'm not shutting myself out. Woo.
All right,
Chris
a well-earned
Cantwell.
point.
Hold on.
Okay, Tony.
I got the wrong part.
What does that say? Nothing. Does that say nothing?
White Queen.
White Queen?
Ah. Jean Grey.
That's what I thought, Chris.
There's a clone, right?
Yeah, Madeline Pryor was a weird clone of Jean Grey.
And of course, Amy Dillon gets it.
All right.
So Carson and Amy get a point. Final question, round number 2.
Final question for the round. Here we go. In Fantastic Four 381 in the 90s, Reed Richards died, as everybody remembers, and he never came back. It was very tragic. We all miss him. We think good thoughts for his family. But in needing to have 4 members of the Fantastic Four, Sue Richards brought in a new technical advisor for the team. Who was this 4th member of the Fantastic Four who replaced Reed and worked alongside Sue, Ben, and Johnny, and a bunch of other people? But mostly them.
Chris knows.
I think I know. And
Just
then
write
I
Iron Man. Just write down Iron Man. Move
All
on.
right, actually.
I
Just
plan to
promote
be.
the book. Write Iron Man #1 now.
Available.
I'm going to be wrong, but it should be an interesting wrong at least.
What do you got, Amy?
Forge?
Oh, that's a good answer. Cool
That is
idea.
a good answer. It is not right, but it is a good answer.
The Fantastic Forge.
Oh my God.
Right, guys? All right, I'll see you.
Okay, nice.
Tony, what do you got, man? Come on, man. Get a point this round.
Power down.
Spider-Man is not correct. Not accurate.
Dr.
Dr.
Doom.
Doom
Of course you would write Dr. Doom.
Is
Why would-
also not right.
I also put Forge.
Aw.
I
Well,
love
that's
two
it's it.
forges.
It's a match.
We're subscribing to this book already. It doesn't exist yet, but you've got 2 people.
There you go.
Fantastic Forge.
Fantastic Forge. Put it on the production
That's
schedule.
1992.
We got an interesting game here, guys.
The correct answer was Paul Rudd.
No.
Oh, duh.
It was
of course.
Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, guys. The scores of round 2, where Amy got 3, Carson got 1, Chris got 1, Tony got none.
Woo. Tony.
Total scores right now: Amy with 6, Carson with a respectable 3, Tony still sitting high at 6, and Chris, for some reason, less respectable 3.
Wait a minute. Hold
We
on.
expected more from you, Chris. I'm sorry.
I don't know why.
You write for Marvel.
He's
I think
he's
it's
he's
10 a.m.
putting together Paper Girls. He's got a lot going on.
Good point. He's very busy. And you would know, Tom. You are his editor. All right, guys. So this is how round 3, the final round, is going to work. I'm relying heavily on your honor system on this one. Does everyone remember the show When Ben Stein's Money? The
Yes.
final round, it's going to be a very sort of isolation room kind of a round. So I'm going to ask questions to each of you guys. And you're going to, in 3 minutes, you're going to answer as many questions as you can get in 3 minutes. You can say pass just to keep the ball rolling and move on to the next question if you just clearly don't know it. Does it make sense? So we'll start with, say, Carson over here. So you guys, I'm going to take you down. Cover your ears. Take out your earbuds.
Be honest.
Be honest,
I'll just
because
mute
you're all getting the exact same question.
Oh. Do you
Does that make
want to give us a signal when you're switching and I'll
Yeah,
ask?
yeah. We'll wave our hands like mad,
Okay, yeah. If you're gonna say them out loud, I'll just mute my computer.
or just mute your computer.
I'll just throw it out the window. All right.
There you go. All right, so I'm going to remove everybody here but Mr. Carson. We're going to get really, really personal here, man. It's just you and me here. So be honest. What do you think? How do you think this is going so far? No one's
Oh,
listening.
man.
Just the people in the chat room.
This is going to be great.
All right, so our time, you got 3 minutes.
Oof.
Answer as many of these as you can get right. There's 14. I don't know. I haven't tested. Maybe 3 minutes is way too long, but we'll see. We'll find out together. Are you ready? 3
Yeah, let's
minutes
do it.
on the clock. You can say pass, and I'll circle back around. Maybe not. We're making this shit up as we go along. Carson, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay,
let's
question
go.
number 1. Oh, cool. You're going to hold it up. I
No.
love this.
Oh, do you want me to hold it up?
Question number 1. Here we go. Who penciled the cover of Amazing Fantasy 15?
Steve Ditko.
Incorrect.
Ah,
What is
These are
the
tough.
name of the only weapon in the universe that sends a shiver down the spine of Galactus?
Ultimate Nullifier.
Correct. Mark them down. Who caused the core of Beta Ray Bill's galaxy to explode?
Thor.
Incorrect. What title and issue marked the first appearance of Deadpool?
New Mutants 98.
Correct. What is the name of the future and evil version of Adam Warlock?
Magus.
Correct. Where does Uatu the Watcher live?
The Moon.
That is correct. In 1977, what razor-clawed mutant made its first appearance in Iron Fist 14?
Sabretooth.
Correct. Man, I should have made these harder. Who attached a giant propulsion unit to the surface of Ego the Living Planet to send him hurtling through space?
Star-Lord. I don't know.
Incorrect. After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who does Ben Grimm hand select as his replacement in the Fantastic Four?
I believe that one was She-Hulk.
That one is She-Hulk. That is correct. Hold on. Someone is calling me on the phone right now.
I'll stop
So
the
it's-
timer.
No, keep going. X Factor number 6 marked the first appearance of what ancient mutant?
Apocalypse.
Correct. In Tales of Suspense 39, who was the evil warlord who held Tony Stark captive?
Mandarin.
Wong Chu?
Ah,
Okay. In The Incredible Hulk, number 1, what was the first name? What was the name of Bruce Banner's Russian assistant?
Natalie Rushman.
Incorrect. In Fantastic Four number 5, in his first encounter with the Fantastic Four, how did Dr. Doom manage to get away?
How did he get away? I have no idea. Science.
Good answer,
Jetpack.
but he flew away on a jetpack. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
What was the name of the group funded by Tony Stark after the West Coast Avengers disbanded?
Pass.
That was the final question. So this
okay.
is your only.
So West Coast Avengers. Who did he form? I don't know. Damage Control.
Incorrect.
Okay.
So not bad. How'd he do?
7.
7.
I
You
missed
got
like
half
the
of them.
easiest one first.
You got
I'm
half
gonna
of
kick
them.
myself over that for a while.
All right, Carson. Well done, sir. I think 3 minutes might be a little long. Let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Cantwell. Carson, well done.
Thanks.
Well done. I'm going to remove you so you don't have to cover your ears. You can just hang out. We'll bring you back around at the end. Chris, you got 7 to beat.
All right,
Seven is the number. And we haven't
Okay.
even brought on Mr. Brevoort yet.
Okay.
Are you ready? Here we go.
Yes.
Who penciled the cover of Amazing Fantasy 15?
Oh shit.
Take your time. You got 3 minutes, as I've found out, is a really long time.
It's Ditko.
Incorrect.
It's
What is Jack Kirby? Just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, I know. He did the cover. God.
What is the name of the only weapon in the universe that sends a shiver of fear down the spine of Galactus?
The Ultimate Nullifier.
Correct. Who caused the core of Beta Ray Bill's galaxy to explode?
Pass.
Pass. We'll come back to that. What title and issue marked the first appearance of Deadpool?
X-Force number 1. X-Force
Incorrect.
X-Force number
Incorrect.
2.
No.
X-Force number 8. Okay.
New Mutants 98. What is the name of the future and evil version of Adam Warlock?
Magus.
Correct. Where does Uatu the Watcher live?
On a moon somewhere. The moon.
On a moon somewhere?
Saturn's moon.
All right, we'll get. Oh, it's Earth's moon.
Yeah, but you said no. You gave it to
I don't know about that one. In 1977, what razor-clawed mutant made his first appearance in Iron Fist 14?
Oh my god. It's a trick question. It's not Wolverine. Pass.
Who attached a giant propulsion unit to the surface of Ego the Living Planet and sent him hurtling through space?
Pass.
After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who does Ben Grimm hand select as his replacement in the Fantastic Four? This is in 1984.
Spider-Man.
Incorrect. She-Hulk.
Damn it. Okay.
X Factor number 6 marked the first appearance of what ancient mutant?
Apocalypse.
Correct. In Tales of Suspense 39, who was the evil warlord who held Tony Stark captive?
Mandarin.
Wong Chu.
Okay.
In
All
The
right.
Incredible Hulk number 1, what was the name of Bruce Banner's Russian assistant?
Oh, pass.
Pick a Russian assistant. Just throw one out there.
No.
Okay. In Fantastic Four number 5, in his first encounter with the Fantastic Four, how did Dr. Doom manage to get away? Dr. Doom, Chris.
Teleportation.
Incorrect. He flew away on his jetpack.
Okay.
Okay, what was the name of the group funded by Tony Stark after the West Coast Avengers disbanded?
Pass.
Did you do Who Caused the Core of Beta Ray Bill's Galaxy to Explode?
No.
Yeah, I think you passed
Thor.
on it. Thor is incorrect.
Okay.
What about shit? I forget which ones you passed. You did good. You did good.
There's no more questions.
That was it. I wish there was.
Okay.
How'd you do?
4.
You got 4, Chris. A
Yeah.
respectable 4.
It's not 7.
I got it. I got it. A.
You and him and Carson were tied. At
You and
3.
Carson. Oh my God. Someone came to play.
Full.
Oh wow.
Chris, thanks a lot. We'll bring you back in at the end.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. All right, Tony. It's time. It is time, sir. Are you ready? Did you hear any of those questions or answers?
What's that?
Did you hear? Oh God, this is going to go great. Did you hear any of those? Okay.
Okay, no.
Question. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Question number 1. Go. Who penciled the cover of Amazing Fantasy 15?
Mr. Jack Kirby. Jack
That
Kirby.
is correct. What is the name of the only weapon in the universe that sends shivers of fear down the spine of Galactus?
It's the ultimate something. The thing.
You can pass.
Yes.
Who caused the core of Beta Ray Bill's galaxy to explode?
Thor.
Incorrect. Everybody says Thor. What title and issue marked the first appearance of Deadpool?
New Mutants 98.
Correct. What is the name of the future and evil version of Adam Warlock?
Magnus.
We'll give it to you. Magus.
Oh.
Where does Uatu the Watcher live?
It's the moon, isn't it?
It is the moon. In 1977, what razor-clawed mutant made his first appearance in Iron Fist 14?
Oh, that's Sabretooth.
Correct. Who attached a giant propulsion unit to the surface of Ego the Living Planet and sent him hurtling through space?
Pass.
After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who does Ben Grimm hand select as his replacement in the Fantastic Four in 1984?
Pass.
X Factor number 6 marked the first appearance of what ancient mutant?
Apocalypse.
Correct. In Tales of Suspense 39, who was the evil warlord who held Tony Stark captive?
Mandarin.
Wong Chu. In The Incredible Hulk number 1, what was the name of Bruce Banner's Russian assistant?
Dmitry something off.
No. In Fantastic Four number 5, in his first encounter with the Fantastic Four, how did Doctor Doom manage to get away?
He flies away.
Damn right he flies away. Good job, Tony. What was the name of the group funded by Tony Stark after the West Coast Avengers disbanded?
Pass.
Shit, I can't remember which ones you passed. After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who does Ben Grimm hand select as his replacement?
It's not Spider-Man. That would be. Let's say She-Hulk.
She-Hulk was correct.
Jesus.
Well done, sir. I don't think you passed on any other ones. Or hold on, wait.
The
No,
last
you
one.
didn't.
Did, but the last one.
Oh, you don't know the last one?
No, I don't know.
Okay. Good job, Tony.
Wow.
I think, Let me. I think you beat out Mr. Carson. You beat out Carson by 1 point, Tony. Well done, Tony. You got Amy. You got to beat Tony. Tony's got 7. No, 8. Yes. All right. 8
Sorry, I
is-
thought I came in too early.
all good. 8 is the number to beat.
Oh
8.
boy.
8 out of 14.
Okay.
I have noticed that 3 minutes is an eternity, so you can really take your time. You probably noticed. We probably could have done it in like 2 minutes. We're already done with this whole show, and it's only 30 minutes in. So, how you doing, Amy?
I'm okay. How
What you
about
call in the business killing time?
you?
Did you have a good time
This is
talking to
such a-
Terry Moore?
It was such a blast. This is so great. I'm having a real good day. I'm so glad y'all are putting on this convention.
Awesome. Well, it's about to get a whole lot
Thank you
funner.
for being part of it, Amy.
Are you
Thank
ready?
you. It's Shauna, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Amy Dallin said your name.
Right?
Are you ready, Amy?
Maybe.
Three minutes is an eternity. Question number 1. Who penciled the cover of Amazing Fantasy 15?
Oh, dang. Who penciled the cover?
Who penciled the cover?
Also, is it just out of frame next to you, by the way?
What? Oh, yes, it is.
I spotted that earlier. Oh, we're on a clock. Okay, who penciled the cover?
Obviously a reprint.
You could pass.
I feel like it's designs by Kirby, pencils by Ditko, but I'm gonna get it wrong.
I thought 3 minutes was a long time.
Okay, no, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna go with Kirby.
Correct.
Okay.
What is the name of the only weapon in the universe that sends a shiver of fear down the spine of Galactus?
Ultimate Nullifier?
Correct. Who caused the core of Beta Ray Bill's galaxy to explode?
Carp. Do I lose points if I guess?
No.
Yeah, Galactus.
Incorrect. Good guess,
Okay.
though. What title and issue marked the first appearance of Deadpool?
Title in New Mutants 98.
Correct. What is the name of the future and evil version of Adam Warlock?
Shoot. The Magus?
Correct. And everybody says it differently. Where does Uatu the Watcher live?
Live? I mean, he's usually hanging out on the moon
Correct.
Okay.
Hanging out on the moon.
when he was alive.
In 1977, what razor-clawed mutant made his first appearance in Iron Fist 14?
Iron Fist 14.
Razor-clawed
Mutant. Sabretooth?
Correct. Who attached a giant propulsion unit to the surface of Ego the Living Planet and sent him hurtling through space?
I don't remember. Thanos?
Good guess, Galactus. After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who's been Grimm hand-select as his replacement in the Fantastic Four? This is 1984.
She-Hulk?
Correct.
All right.
X Factor
We're
6.
okay this time.
X Factor 6 marks the first appearance of what ancient mutant?
Apocalypse.
Correct. In Tales of Suspense 39, who was the evil warlord who held Tony Stark captive?
Oh my God. I just read this because they did the True Believers. What's his name? His name is definitely gonna escape me. Pass.
In the Incredible Hulk #1, what was the name of Bruce Banner's Russian assistant?
Oh my God. Boris.
Close, Igor. In Fantastic Four #5, in his first encounter with Fantastic Four, how does Dr. Doom manage to get away?
Oh no.
10 seconds.
Pass.
Okay, what was the name of the group that funded Tony Stark? Tony Stark funded after the West Coast Avengers disbanded.
Oh my God.
Oh, we're the only
3
one to
minutes
go
is
all
not
3
a long
minutes.
time. Oh
They're tied.
You just tied Tony for the highest, but Brevoort's gonna crush you guys. Hate to say it.
no.
Tom, you can unplug. You can or plug in or whatever. Amy
Can I
tied.
listen on this one?
Sure.
I think everybody
So
knows
so
that.
that all seemed visually heartbreaking. I don't know what happened. I don't know how everything went down, but it sure looked like people were having things. So a couple quick questions before we start.
Yes, sir.
Number one, how did people do? You're not going to be like a full number. I'm up against however many things, but generally speaking, what are we talking about here?
Everybody did well.
8.
Good.
Everybody did well, except for maybe
Chris.
your golden boy,
Well,
Mr. Cantwell.
he probably writes better comics than most of the others too. So it's a yin yang kind of a thing.
Without a doubt. You can't be #1 at everything.
It's true.
you know,
It's true.
You just
Second-
can't.
Second question that I've got, just out of curiosity, we have 3 minutes to do this. How many questions do you have total?
Oh, we got plenty of time to kill. Don't worry. There's 14 questions total. Now, here's where I'm going to show my ass a little bit because I'm sure you're going to say my answers are wrong. So I'm just going to trust you. If you say you're right and I'm wrong, I'm just going to give you the point.
I'm going to play an honest game, so I will not abuse that power.
Well, the number to beat is currently held by Amy Dallin and Tony Medina, and that number is 8.
8.
8 out of 14. So
Out
that's
of
pretty
14.
high.
I think it depends on how good the questions are or what the questions are. It's
I'm-
super easy to stump me if it's in the wrong place. So
Well, let's find out. Let's find out,
go.
shall we?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
3 minutes on the clock. As I told Amy and Tony, 3 minutes is an eternity. We probably should have done 2 minutes and made it a little bit more exciting. But hey, 3 minutes it is. Are you ready, sir?
I am ready.
First question. Who penciled the cover of Amazing Fantasy 15?
Jack Kirby.
Correct. With confidence. What is the name of the only weapon in the universe that sends shivers of fear down the spine of Galactus?
That would be the Ultimate Nullifier. Soon to be seen in
Correct.
Fantastic Four 28 on sale.
Awesome. Hear that, Cantwell? No one's gotten this one right. Who caused the core of Beta Ray Bill's galaxy to explode? You can pass.
I'm gonna say Surtur.
Correct. What title and issue marked the first appearance of Deadpool?
That would be New Mutants 98.
Correct. What is the name of the future and evil version of Adam Warlock?
The Magus.
Correct. Where does Uatu the Watcher live?
Most of the time, he lives on a house in the blue area of the moon when he's not being dead. Recently, he's been dead and been living in Nick Fury's eye.
That's exactly what I have written down.
All right.
Correct.
Very
And-
thorough.
In 1977, what razor-clawed mutant made his first appearance in Iron Fist 14?
Sabretooth.
Correct. Who attached a giant propulsion unit to the surface of Ego the Living Planet and sent him hurtling through space?
Galactus, that bum.
Correct. Galactus, that bum is totally correct. After the events of the first Secret Wars miniseries, who does Ben Grimm hand select as his replacement in the Fantastic Four in 1884?
Jen Walters, She-Hulk.
Correct. X Factor number 6 marked the first appearance of what ancient mutant?
Apocalypse. He was going to be the owl, but the new editors and creative team thought the owl was lame.
Are you sure you can't see my questions? In Tales of Suspense 39, who was the evil warlord who held Tony Stark captive?
That was Wong Chu.
Oh my God! Correct.
Wonderfully stereotypical evil Asian warlord.
In the Incredible Hulk number 1, what was the name of Bruce Banner's Russian assistant?
Igor.
That's
Of course.
correct.
There's only one name for a Russian assistant, and it's Igor.
That's what I was trying to tell everybody else. In Fantastic Four number 5, in his first encounter with the Fantastic Four, how did Dr. Doom manage to get away?
He had a jetpack under his cloak, and he takes his cloak off and goes, "You've set my castle ablaze, but I've got my jetpack. I'll go shooting off." And the torch goes after him, but he's used up enough of his flame in the fight that he can't do it. And Reed says, it was a good try. And the thing says, they don't pay for also rans.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. He got an Uber. No, that is correct.
No, he did not.
What was the name of the group funded by Tony Stark after the West Coast Avengers disbanded for the perfect win?
ForceWorks.
ForceWorks? Bring everybody back in here. You got every single one correct.
How much time left on the clock?
30 seconds left.
All right.
Every single one. Guys, that's impressive. That's not just insane.
Well done.
I don't know.
Well done.
I don't know that it's impressive. It worked for this crowd.
Well done.
That was outstanding.
Never doubted you.
I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. We got anybody in the director's chair? Chad, if you're there, let's start throwing up some questions if we could. I'm sure everybody has questions for our panelists. Let them fly in the comments section. We got Chris Cantwell, Iron Man, Amy Dallin, we got Tony, we got Carson, and of course the great Tom Brevoort. I can't believe that. You swept.
Anyone made this joke yet?
They
Very
won. They tied.
Tony and Amy did tie for second place. Yeah, very respectable.
Very good. Very
Second
good.
place.
Sorry, Chris.
Chris did not do as well as everybody else in the final round. Carson, you missed second place by 1 point.
But we're everyone's a winner here because we gave up our Saturdays to join together with our fellow humans and to celebrate stupid comic book stories of the past.
About the
Couldn't agree more. Anybody have any questions in the panel while we wait for people to log into the chat about to Mr. Tom or Mr. Cantwell? Carson, I'm sure you got a couple questions for Chris.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear about the Ultimate Nullifier coming up in Fantastic Four. What's that all about?
Well, Chris
Well,
is
that's
also
not me. That's Dan, right?
yeah, that's Dan. That's
Yeah,
Dan Slott. But there is some other Galactus-related shenanigans that will be coming up in Iron Man that Crispin kind of talked about.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. And then also the Nullifier shows up in Doctor Doom #6, which came out in April.
Yep.
And
That's right.
it's referenced in 7. It's in 8. It plays through the end of the series. So it's a big part of the whole run. And yeah, there's some Galactus-ness happening in Iron Man. Anybody who is looking into the backstory of Michael Korvac, of who I could answer any question, there's some Galactus related events in Korvac's life that he's interested in maybe repeating. So yeah.
Good answer. We got a question from Tevia Smolka. I love this question, Tom. What's the future of Marvel after King in Black? You can't answer that question.
Well, I could. I'm going to try and find a way to do so without spoiling anything. I'll tell you this, that King in Black ends in March, and in April, the Marvel Universe will be completely different, and you will not recognize it.
That's awesome. From the Great Legend Show, let's ask everybody the same question. Who's your favorite Marvel superhero? Amy, who's your favorite Marvel superhero?
Oh, impossible question. Kitty Pryde?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
If you were a little brunette reading X-Men comics, there was basically one person had your heart. Yeah, and she was a nerd. It was a big deal.
Chris?
Spider-Man. He's 5'9". I'm 5'9". It's that simple. It's that simple. Heroes can be 5'9". This is what I learned.
Tom, what do you say? If you had to nail one.
My favorite Marvel hero is The Thing.
Nice.
Ben Grimm, The Thing.
Carson?
Yeah, yes, this is my buddy, the Great Legend, asking. I was going to answer it the same way as Tom. The ever-loving blue-eyed thing. It's one of my favorites as well, for sure. But yeah, Kitty Pryde, shout out. I read Astonishing X-Men recently, and Kitty Pryde, by far the star of that book. I absolutely love that one, too.
The first Astonishing... Sorry.
I just got to say, Tony, obviously, Wolverine. It seems fairly clear.
Right there.
I love this Masked Singer thing we got going on. Are you ever going to, take your helmet off and we realize you're actually Tom King, or you're... Okay.
Chuck, who's your favorite?
Oh, yeah.
I love Dr. Doom. I'm a massive Doctor. Did you say hero or non-hero?
They did!
Just character?
He's a hero in his own
Okay.
right.
Well, I'm going to consider him a hero. He's a hero to many.
He's got a comic, so that's close enough.
And that's not just
Right.
We assign no moral judgments.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Let's keep this. This is in honor of Mr.
Oh,
Chris
nice.
Cantwell.
Okay. Here we go.
I should have done this the whole time. Only I can't see the questions. KB Tibbs says, by Magic Flat, you got to make a 6-issue miniseries with any character group. Who would it be? We'll go to Chris.
I have a funny answer to this one, I guess. I wanted to do a 6, like a mini series about Death, like Mistress Death, but she gets punished because of something she's done wrong. So they trap her and they kind of imprison her in Fresno, and so she's just living in Fresno, California, and trying to live normally. And I would call it Death in Fresno. Tom,
I've
quiet the room, Tom.
I think that was a pitch, right? I mean,
yeah. I think this is a completely unfair question for me because I have editorial fiat, and so if I have a thing I want to do, I just do it.
That's true.
So Tom,
Is there one that you didn't think they would let you get away with that you did get to do? Can I just...
That's a good question.
There are probably thousands of things like that. The one I had to I had to dance the robot on a conference table to get done was Great Lakes Avengers.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, though.
That video is somewhere online on YouTube. It is quite embarrassing, and everybody can seek that out now and entertain themselves in my misery.
Another question from Tevia. Question: how do you feel about Spider-Girl? Maybe Mayday. I can't.
Mayday
read
Parker. Yeah.
You read them, and will she return someday in the future?
Well, I like Mayday Parker. I edited the Spider-Girl book for a little while, and a number of my assistant and associate editors edited it for a long time after I handed it off. I think it's inevitable that we'll see the character again because nobody disappears forever in the Marvel Universe. Everybody comes back at some time, and I'd certainly like to see an opportunity if it arose for Tom DeFalco and Ron Frenz or Pat Olaf to do another Spider-Girl story somewhere. They're dialing my phone even as we speak right now.
Yeah, because they're watching this. Tom, how often does something come by your desk like that you just say no? Is it all the time?
All constantly. Chris is laughing now because he knows.
Every email.
Are you allowed to talk about any cutting room floor things that have come across your desk that you were just like, absolutely not?
All the best ones are ones that I wouldn't want to share. But anything that you could think of that is weird and beyond the pale and sort of nonsensical, chances are somebody's tried to pitch it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the one that everybody pitches. Like, once every year, 18 months, somebody pitches the story where his back is to the wall. There's no other way out. There's nothing else he can do. And this is the one time that Spider-Man finally has to kill somebody. Nope. No, it's not.
Everybody, I bet you Kate's pitches you that on a daily basis. Let's kill somebody. We've already killed the Inhumans. We've already Donnie killed everybody.
Yeah, but Donnie's actually smarter than that. Donnie understands Spider-Man a little better than that. But somebody pitches that story or some version of that story like every 18 months, and they're so passionate about like this is the one. It's gonna be so amazing, and it's gonna change everybody's. Nope, not happening. Next.
Thank you on behalf of the fans for keeping that wall.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah.
Tom, I'm sure this question is for you. What has been your favorite project you have ever worked on so far?
Well, I have effectively two. For years and years and years, I've said, and this is the right place to reiterate it, Baltimore Comic-Con, that the best run of comics that I worked on, my favorite run, was the Mark Waid, Mike Waringo Fantastic Four back in the early 2000s. It now has competition. I've gotten to do another run that I like equally well, and that is the Dan Slott, Mike Allred Silver Surfer.
Oh, yeah.
Both of those are available in excellent omnibus editions now that you can go purchase, as though you were at Baltimore Comic-Con. So seek them out. They're good books. But I have lots of books that I worked on that I liked.
I want to ask you and you, Tom, and you, Chris, as well. What's the future plans for this new run of Iron Man? How long are we thinking this is going to run? Like, how many arcs do you have in mind for this? Is this going to run forever?
Well, I want to be on it as long as Tom will let me be on it. But the first arc is planned. The Korvac arc is substantial. So there's kind of 3 big chunks, and I'm about midway through with the scripts. So I'm trying to do like a legit saga with the 2 dudes. So I'm hoping we can pull it off. Yeah. And then after that, I don't know.
No plans after Iron Man?
Well, I've got some thoughts, but again, like I don't want to jinx myself. I was raised Roman Catholic, so I feel like if I say anything out loud, I'll have sinned.
Does that have anything to do with Spider-Man killing somebody?
Spider-Man's going to kill Tony.
Yep.
That's the pitch. I haven't pitched it to Tom yet. I think he's going to go for it, though.
Big shocking twist.
Yeah.
Amy or Carson, anything for our panelists? We got about just maybe about 5 minutes left.
Just quickly, Tom, you're a legend to those of us who go deep into reading the indexes on our comics. But for anyone watching this who might not realize why that's such a big deal, what's the fun part of being a comic book editor?
Well, the fun part is seeing the books when they're done. All the stuff after that is not as much fun, maybe. But it's putting together good. You get to work with all these great, fun, terrific characters from the past, and you get to work with super talented and interesting people like Christopher. to put this stuff together in interesting ways, and it's great to be able to make stories that affect people, that they love and that they carry with them, and that have an impact on their lives. That's all terrific. And all of that is really us standing on the shoulders of all the guys that came before us, because if you're starting with Spider-Man, say, you're already standing on a mountain and you don't have very far to go to tell a story that somebody cares about. A lot of the heavy lifting has been done for you already. But, it's being able to do that keeps Spider-Man alive and vital today, in the same way he was 10 or 20 or 30 years ago.
Yeah, my question was going to be, about that Fantastic Four run you said was your favorite thing you've worked on, because that was one of the runs that got me back into comics back in the day. And I was actually going to ask, do you have a favorite memory of working with those two gentlemen, or is there a favorite special moment that happened in that run?
There's plenty, but they're a little nasty. So I'll tell the nasty one. There was a point at which, it's about 2/3 of the way through that run, the president of Marvel fired Mark, fired him off the book, and Ringo went in solidarity, and they were going to leave. And through a series of circumstances, a bunch of issues that we were going to accelerate ship, double ship every month, ended up single shipping. And by the time we got there, the person who had done the firing was no longer there. And so I was able to call Mark and Ringo back up and get them back onto the book. But the thing that I remember about it was Ringo had been given another deal. He'd been made an offer by DC to do another book over at DC. He had a contract. He had to start by a certain point. And he and I talked, and I said, well, look, you have time in there to do 2 more issues. Let's just do 2 more issues and end the run properly. Let's give it a real finish. And he said, yeah, absolutely. I'm down for that. If Mark is there, I'm there. And he ended up, the next day talking to the head of DC and saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to be ready to go on to my new assignment. I just have to do these 2 issues of FF first. And the guy went bananas. He got super angry because what he was really interested in was taking the team that had been fired from Marvel and putting them on this thing, and he went berserk. He went, if you're going to do those issues, don't, this DC deal is off the table. You got to choose here. Are you gonna do this or not? And Ringo said, I promised that I would do them, so I'm going to do them. And he came back and told us about this, and I went and talked to Joe Quesada, and by that afternoon, we matched the DC deal, and Ringo was exclusive, and he stayed with us, and Mark stayed with us, and we did another year on the book.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Tom, this has been a lot of fun, and it was all wrapped in this kind of goofy package. But honestly, the whole point of this hour-long panel was really to just kind of, highlight your amazing work, your amazing career. It's been a lot of fun. You clearly wiped the floor with all of these people in your Marvel knowledge, as we knew you would. And I
know a few things.
Yeah. So, guys, this has been a blast. Chris, can't thank you enough for coming on. Tony,
Thank you. Fun.
Amy, you're a ray of sunshine. Parson, I thought you'd do better, but that's okay.
Yeah, Chad changed my name again, by the way.
Did he have your email address or something? All right, guys, well, stick around. We got the spotlight on Shelley Bond coming up right after this, and we are mere moments away from the live Ringo Awards with Jeff Johns, with Kevin Smith. Everybody's going to be on that thing, so definitely stick around for that. Tom, can't thank you enough for being here.
My pleasure, anytime.
I believe we'll see you here tomorrow with Mark Waid, correct?
Yes, we will talk late on Sunday. Late tomorrow.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Stick around. Shelley Bond's coming up right next.